For those who might not be aware, Shonen is a genre of anime or manga geared towards a young/teenage male demographic. The exact age group can vary, but the primary targets usually fall between the ages of 12 and 18. As expected, their plots are more action-packed and utterly entertaining. While certain shonen storylines can be impressive, unique, but the majority of them follow a methodical approach that typically comes with a handful of tropes. Sure, some shonen tropes are a bit cringe-worthy, but others are definitely sick. So, we don't mind watching them unfold. Let's check out some examples from both ends of the spectrum anyways. Teenagers who save the world. It's common to see young characters saving the planet long before they get their diplomas. This trope is something anime shares with Western young adult fiction. Clearly every adult is either too busy or too corrupt or too dead to save the world, and so it falls to the plucky young man or woman to do it instead. Once again, it's usually shonen that does this, but all genres involve an adolescent leader who fixes the story's main problems. From defending Earth from monsters to healing a broken relationship or saving an industry from disaster, heroes such as Ichigo, Luffy, Naruto, Yuji, they all fall into this category. It's a rule of thumb that the hero will be the strongest character in the anime and defeat any antagonist that directly challenges them. They might struggle at first, or they might not make the best choices, but they're the protagonist for a reason. Victory is essentially guaranteed thanks to the ridiculous power scaling trope. The hero will receive an inexplicable power-up with every top tier villain they encounter. If the main character is having a rough time, a side character viewers completely forgot about will suddenly be strong enough to fend off the overpowered villain, even though the foe should be out of the league, majorly. But when did they get so competent? No one knows, but honestly, it doesn't really matter. Now, make no mistake, this trope can get a bit annoying if triggered at the most inappropriate moments. Nevertheless, flashbacks serve as an excellent source of emotion for an anime. They can create a perfect balance since shonen is mostly action-packed and intense battle sequences are incorporated into the majority of episodes. Heartbreaking flashbacks are generally the most efficient way to break from the madness and introduce a character's backstory. They might draw a few tears and heighten the stakes for the corresponding character, which makes the anime or manga more meaningful. The ever so popular training montages are usually accompanied by great music, so that automatically is sick. They also grant us the chance to watch the protagonist or side character develop their strengths and abilities. On top of that, a pinch of humour might be added to make the overall event more entertaining. Training montages tend to function as a time skip, or sort of like coaching could last several days, weeks or months. They also make sense in terms of plot. You can't just make an average character a phenomenal fighter overnight. Oh, tournaments. What would shonen be without you? Many popular shonen titles dedicate at least one arc to a significant competition of sorts that the protagonist desperately wants to win. To be fair, victory isn't always guaranteed for the main character unless the stakes are obnoxiously high. For instance, My Hero Academia's Deku might not have won the UA Sports Festival, but losing a tournament in a series like Dragon Ball could mean the obliteration of your home planet. These events up the ante and provide a remarkable battle sequence. This shonen trope makes sense when you remember that the target demographic is young boys. Their personality is more often than not correlate with those of a simple-minded character. But in a good way, these protagonists can be relatable and are generally kind-hearted. There's something incredibly likeable about a dim-witted main character. For starters, you get to watch them grow and become more competent over the course of the series. Sure, they will make silly decisions and occasionally ruin their own plans, but they have a good intention and make us laugh without fail. Now, the comic relief / P-word character. Most animes need comic relief characters who dispense non-stop gags and pitfalls. Most often this character will be a goofy fellow who lacks a serious character arc because it's the funny guy. His entire personality is that. Some series may go further than that, but not much. These guys may be energetic, talkative, whimsical, and they might even be treated as a punching bag at times. They can tend to be rather dense and foolish and thus get mocked for it. They might even be a hardcore gamer who's criticised for putting an obnoxiously amount of hours into video games, or someone who acts like a downright P-word. We don't like them. Hunter x Hunter's Gone Freaks is the poster boy for this shonen trope, but it applies to several anime slash manga plots. What exactly are the parents doing while the child runs around the world getting into fights? Does no one care about their kids reach the brink of death every season? And that's assuming their parents aren't dead, which is a shonen trope that correlates with most comic book superheroes. In terms of living parents, mothers always get the short end of the stick if they're lucky enough to be alive. They're guaranteed to be a stay-at-home mom whose personality doesn't extend beyond, hey, dinner's ready. For a genre that is geared towards teenage boys, it's surprising how the power of friendship is typically placed above physical strength in terms of importance. We know that teamwork makes the dream work, but watching our favourite protagonists defeat villains with the help of something as wholesome as a friendship is very heartwarming. The shonen trope is refreshingly selfless and opens the door to a slew of valuable life lessons. A variant of power of friendship is the significance of sibling love. A modern example of this is Demon Slayer, which emphasizes the relationship between Tanjiro and Nezuko. Now, this trope genuinely ties into several related ones. The hero is exhausted, their powers are depleted, and they are about to be defeated by the opponent who currently has the upper hand. Cue the emotional flashback, accompanied by a touching monologue that reminds the hero of who they are, and where they come from, and what runs in their blood, and so on, so on. After what's said and done, the opponent will likely hesitate instead of capitalizing on their opening, and the hero will summon a chunk of adrenaline-fueled strength or a suitable skill that lay dormant until this very second. As common as the trope is, it always makes for an unforgettable fight sequence. And that about wraps it up for everything. You are never ready to write a successful manga and anime. I almost forgot actually, don't forget to put spiky coloured hair on your main protagonist. People love that shit. Well, that's it. Thanks for watching. If you liked the video, like, subscribe. You don't have to. But yeah, peace.